does? Oh, that's all I want. Are we sure about these? Yeah, great, perfect. What chord is that? Okay. Okay, I think it's good Shabbos. Good Shabbos. Good Shabbos. You know what I'm going to say. If you have been here even once, you know exactly what I'm about to say to you.
But you have no idea what I'm going to say. I'm a wild card.
Here we go. As we settle in, I'm going to invite us, first of all, to just beam a little love, a little greeting to each other. And I'm going to invite us, please come closer. I know, everyone's stacked like one party behind each other in these like makeshift pews. Come now. Come closer. You will want to sing close to MJ.
On, we can't hear you sing with us.
Right.
And that makes us a little sad. Or let me put it the other way around. The more we can hear you sing with us, the happier we are.
Hey, that was a nice refrain.
Social work.
And beloveds on Zoom, know that our invitation is also for you. It's to get cozy. It's to beam a little love to each other. We see you here. We're so happy to see your faces, to see your names. What a gift.
We're about to open with a song that is about the power of friendship and being close and comradeship to bring about the redemption that we need so very badly. So it just seems like a really good moment to like get a little closer and show a little bit more love and comradeship.
Yay. So we're going to start in our handouts. Good Shabbos, everyone. Good. Oh, such a great question, Julie Jacobs. We're going to start in our not blue handout. We're going to start in our white handout and singing a little Judeo-Persian together. Yeah, I'm so excited to get to sing with you. Wow.
Zechute Torei Moshe Zechute Jame Chaverim Ba'maretzam Yisora Azomadane Yeshua
Ashrechem, 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 Yisrael. Ashrechem, 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 Yisrael. As Cheshmeh Ashrechem, Good Shabbos, everyone. A show is called a Beit Knesset, a house of gathering, a house of entering. It's called a home. And it's funny because I don't think probably most of us sit like this when we're at home. We probably don't get to invite this many people we don't know into our house that often. Or sit with our backs facing somebody. But we come together in this Beit Knesset. We come together in a home. We make a home together. And I wonder, and I offer tonight, as we come into this circle-ish thing, into this rhizome, how do each of our bodies know we're at home? What's the sign? What signals to us I'm home? I pause and ask, is there anyone who's here for the very first time? Is there anyone who's visiting? Hi. Welcome. Hi. Are you up from out of town? Are you from here? From out of town? Awesome. Oh, from here? Amazing. Are you from here? Yay. Hi. Welcome. Are you from out of town or from here? Hi. Wow. That's amazing. So we're welcoming friends who are from Amherst, Massachusetts. I'm repeating for our friends on Zoom, and who bought a house today. And so you're from here all of a sudden. Oh my goodness. Okay, so new neighbors. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Wow. Okay. So not knowing that, this question of what makes a home. Incredible. I know also, I'm wondering, and I'm looking to you, love, at friends who are returning home, who are returning to Minneapolis. I'm looking to you, beloved, who is home and also whose home is in Boston. Speaking of Amherst, we have...
You got empty space.
Just this feeling of where are we in place? I guess I'm wondering, is there anyone who's, I'm recently returned, or I'm making home, I'm claiming home here now. Yeah. I think for any of you who read the Shabbat message, I got back at 1:00 this morning from Los Angeles, and, I'm thinking a lot about home. And I'm thinking a lot about the incredible gift of getting to make home. And I'm thinking about Jewish communities whose homes burned down and who are figuring out what it means to gather together tonight to welcome Shabbat, because Shabbat does not wait for a fire to be contained. Shabbat comes every week, and we have a responsibility. And so I just am holding this sense of yirah, which is awe and fear, and this incredible gift we have to get to try to make home together. Julie's like, yes, please, all of it, on my face. And I have this feeling of landing, and I want to say thank you, of moving through this, what was a very intense experience over these last days, of landing home with you and making home together in Shabbat. And so, because it's home is both, and again, to drosh the drosh, right? Like, home is both space, and it's also this thing, this inchoate thing that we get to make together. And so I want to offer that invitation and also just send love to you who are like, yeah, I feel ochi at home right now. I feel ochi, maybe it's I feel ochi here, or I feel ochi in my home, or where, like if that you're carrying that sense of bristle, that's also okay. It gets to feel complicated. We're Jews, it gets to feel complicated. And we get to be inside of this project together and be strengthened by it and learn together and love each other on that path. Yeah? So I hope this isn't putting you on the spot, dear ones who have just landed here, but I would love to invite our friends from Amherst / from this neighborhood to come light candles. Can we invite you up to do that? Is that okay? And can I invite also our guests who are here for the first time? You really can say no. You do not have to feel put on the spot. You can feel accompanied also by your friends who are here with you if you would like. But we would love to invite you to come light candles with us in honor of your entering this little home this Shabbat. And I'll just sit here and cry a little bit. Don't mind me.
Another Friday night.
Another, exactly. It's 2 minutes into Shul, the rabbi's crying. Womp womp. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lehadlik ner shel Shabbat. Good Shabbos. Welcome. May you continue to find community and make community as you move on your path. Good Shabbos to you. Let's turn together to page 12. I got you.
Neranena l'Adonai Nariya Litzur Yishenu Mikadam Afana
Adonai. continue on page 13.
Last paragraph on the page.
ישמחו השמיים ותגל הארץ ירם הים ומלואו ישמחו השמיים ותגל הארץ ירם הים השמיים תגלה ירם הים ישמחו השמיים ותגלה ירם
We'll continue on the next page, page 14, the bottom paragraph again. Ush, ush. Kurz, kurz.
Light is returning, even though it is the darkest hour, no one can hold back the dawn. Light is returning, even though it is the darkest hour, no one can hold back the dawn. Or Zarua, la tzadik, uleishelev simcha. Or Zarua, la tzadik, uleishelev simcha. Or Zarua,
hour.
is
No
the
one can
darkest hour. God the Son, light is returning, even though it is the darkest hour. No one can hold back the dawn. Light is returning, even though it is the darkest hour. No one can hold back the dawn. Light is returning, even though it is the darkest hour. No one can hold back the dawn.
O Zarua Latzadik U'Yisrael Lev Simcha. No one
Can hold back the dawn. No
U'Yisrael Lev
Simcha. We'll turn to page 18 and rise and root as we sing this Sephardi melody. Mizmor leDavid havu l'Adonai ben elim havu l'Adonai kevod va'oz havu l'Adonai kevod shemo ishtachavu l'Adonai בהדרת קודש כל אדוני על המים אל הכבוד הרים אדוני על מים רבים על מים רבים כל אדוני בכוח כל אדוני בהדר כל אדוני שובר ארזים וישבר אדוני את עזי הלבנון וירקידם כמו עגל לבנון וסריון כמו בן רמים כל אדוני עוצב להבות אש כל אדוני יכיל מדבר יכיל אדוני מדבר קדש כל אדוני יכול אל היעלות ויחשוף יערות ובהיכלו כולו מכבוד אדוני למבול ישב וישב אדוני מלך לעולם אדוני עוז לעמו ייתן אדוני יברך את עמו בשלום. You may be seated.
We'll turn to page 20, singing the words of L'chadodi. It's our tradition, even in the cold and particularly in the snow, to head outside on our last verse of this. If you feel willing, you're totally welcome to stay in here and stay cozy. Verse 9. Julie Jacobs is throwing shade at our lead rabbi.
Which is great. I love the shade. I want you to know that I walked out, for those who are not in on the joke, I walked out last week on the 5th verse, really ready to greet Shabbat, and then walked out again on the 9th verse. So just so you know, as I was coming to Shul tonight, I was chanting to myself, and MJ heard me, verse 9, verse 9, verse 9. So we'll see what happens.
Bets have been taken. No, we took the bets before Shabbat.
Shabbat Mekabela Shamor v'zachor v'dibor echad Yishmi'anu el ha'miuchad Adonai echad u'shemo echad v'shemo Dodi likrat kala B'nei Shabbat nekabela Lecha dodi likrat kala B'nei Shabbat nekabela Likrat Shabbat Lechu v'nilcha Ki mekor ha'beracha Merosh mikedem mezucha Sof ma'aseh b'machshava tchila Lecha dodi likrat kala Shabbat Mekabela Lecha dodi likrat kala B'nei Shabbat Mekabela Mikdash melech ir melucha Kum yitzim b'toch ha'afecha Yachamol alayich kema Lecha dodi likrat kala B'nei Shabbat nekabela Lecha dodi likrat kala B'nei Shabbat nekabela Ayad beishai ketalachni Kol el nafshi ge'ala Lecha dodi likrat kala B'nei Shabbat nekabela
ya la 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 ya ya la 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 ya la ya la 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 ya ya la 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 ya ya la la ya ya la 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 ya la 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 ya la 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 לך דודי לי נקל הפני שבת נקבלה לך דודי לי נקל הפני שבת נקבלה לא תבושי ולא תקלמי מה תשתות ראשי ומה תהני מה תכנסו דודי לי קקל הפני שבת נקבלה לך דודי לי קקל הפני שבת נקבלה שושוסי ורחקו מבולייך יסיס עלייך אלוהי כמסוס דודי לי קקל הפני שבת נקבלה לך דודי לי קקל הפני שבת נקבלה יגידו זכותי ואת אדוני תריצי אל יעניש בן פרצי לך דודי לי קקל הפני שבת נקבלה לך דודי לי קקל הפני שבת נקבלה אוי ושלום עטרת בעלה בשמחה ובצולה תוך אמונה עם סגולה בואי חלה לך דודי לי קקל הפני שבת נקבלה 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 אוי Shabbat Shalom. We made it by the skin of our teeth.
We'll move into our evening service, rising or rooting on the top of page 28. Ya da dum ba ya 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 yo. Ya da da ya 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 ya. Ya da da ya 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 da da ya ya ya. Ya da da ya 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 ya. You can be seated. We'll continue on page 30, near the bottom of the page, with a blessing of God who brings darkness. I invite folks to take a moment to put your mind's eye outdoors right now in the new fresh snow on the ground and the stillness and the moon vibrating off of that surface. Taking a big breath in and out.
ומעביר יום ומביא לילה ומבדיר בין יום ובין לילה אדוני צבאות שמו אל חי וקיים תמיד ימלוך עלינו לעולם ועד ברוך אתה אדוני המעריב הרבים.
On page 32, we give thanks to a God that brings love into this world. I'd invite folks to take a moment to call into your heart someone who is in your life in need of love. Taking a big breath in and out.
כי הם חיינו ואורך ימינו והם נגי יומם ולילה ואהבתך אל תסיר ממנו לעולמים ברוך אתה אדוני אוהב עמו ישראל.
On page 34, we'll rise or root. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto You can be seated. We turn to page 36. ואהבת
את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודך והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבבך ושינתם לבניך ודיברת בם בשבתך בביתך ובלכתך בדרך ובשוכבך ובקומך וקשרתם להיות על ידך והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי והייתם קדושים אלוהיכם אני אדוני אלוהיכם אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים להיות לכם לאלוהים אני אדוני אלוהיכם
Adonai Elohechem. Amen.
Let's turn together to page 40.
מי כמוך ואלים אדוני מי כמוך נדע בקודש
חזק ממנו. ברוך אתה אדוני גאל ישראל.
We'll turn to page 42, the next page. Davening our prayer for peace.
Ufros aleinu sukkah, sukkah shalom echa.
Ufros aleinu
We'll rise or root on page 44.
Shabbat לעשות את השבת לדורותם ולעולם ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת לעשות את השבת לדורותם ולעולם בני ישראל אותי לעולם אותי לעולם ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת לעשות את השבת כי ששת ימים עשה אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת לעשות את השבת לדורותם ולעולם. וביום השביעי שבת ויהי נפש, שבת ויהי נפש, שבת ויהי נפש, ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת לעשות את השבת לדורותם ולעולם.
We'll take this time now to pray our personal prayers. We'll begin with the Kabbalat on page 46 aloud, and then we'll have a few moments in quiet. And you're invited to use the words of the book, to use the words of your heart, to let your breath carry you through that quiet. And we'll join back together on page 62. the bottom of page 62.
Shalom Bimroa, Uyase Shalom Aleinu, Be'al Yisrael, Be'al Kol Yoshvei Tevel, Shalom Aleinu, Be'al Kol Yisrael, Be'al Kol Yoshvei Tevel, V'imru, Amen. Yalla la la ya ya yalla yalla la yalla la 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 yalla la 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 oh yalla la 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 ya yalla yalla la yalla la 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 yalla la 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 oh say shalom bimromav hu yaseh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael ve'al kol yoshvei tevel v'imru amen. Yalla la 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 ya la 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 yalla la la yalla la yalla la 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 yalla la 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 ya yalla yalla la yalla la 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 yalla la 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 oh yalla la 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 ya yalla la 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 yalla la 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 yalla la 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 oh yalla la 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 ya yalla yalla la yalla la 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 yalla la 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 oh yalla la 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 ya yalla yalla la yalla la ya la la ya yalla la ya yo.
With hearts wide open, we'll pray. We'll pray for healing of body, for healing of spirit, for support. And we'll use the words that are found on our colorful sheets, our new blue sheets. Ela refana la, Ela refana la, tonight we're praying for
Shabbat Shalom. A little while ago, I was approached by an ancient woman at her brother-in-law's funeral. I had officiated the funeral, and she wanted to thank me, and she told me she wanted to tell me a secret. Lean in, it's worth hearing, she told me. So I leaned in towards her, and she whispers, "It just keeps getting better and better." What? I said. Life. It keeps on getting better and better. When you get old, you can be 100% yourself, and no one can do a thing about it. I know that this is not everyone's experience, and I loved my new friend's wisdom, particularly given that it was delivered about a dozen yards from a recently filled grave. I was thinking about her words this week when I came across a midrash that I love, a midrash that explores the nature of life, death, illness, and aging. I have a question about this midrash that I've been wanting to bring to you all for a long time, but before we get there, we'll need to zoom in on the end of the book of Genesis. Our parsha tracks the decline and near death of Jacob. Near the beginning of our parsha, Yosef, Jacob's son, receives the news, "Avicha chole, your father is ill." The rabbis of the classical midrash notice something strange about this passage. Chole, the word for sick, it's not been used up to this point in Torah. Indeed, seemingly no one has been sick over the entire course of the book of Genesis. And now, all of a sudden, illness is introduced into the story? What's the deal? The rabbis do what they do best. They make up a story about this. In Bereshit Rabbah, Rabbi Yehuda bar Simon suggests that up to this point in Torah, people would die with a sneeze. Julie has heard this before, and I made everyone at religious school pretend to sneeze, to which Julie objected. I also, just one other brief aside here, in looking up this midrash, I was treated to the Wikipedia page on Judaism and sneezing, which I highly recommend. Okay, as in, a person would be going along in their life, through their days, and would sneeze and immediately drop dead. So people would die suddenly with a sneeze. And Jacob, knowing this, and knowing that he was coming to the near end of his life, went to God, and according to the Midrash, demanded illness before his death. As you live, you have demanded a good thing, and it will begin with you, says God. Wait, what just happened? So Jacob, for some reason, dissatisfied with life ending abruptly, demands that God creates illness. And God says, sure, that sounds like a great idea, and begins the practice just then and there with Jacob. This is strange, right? Jacob is essentially requesting more suffering near the end of his life when he could have had his final days be totally healthy. I'm curious what you think about this. Why do you think Jacob seeks the creation of illness? And why does God give in to this request? Thank you so much, Rabbi Ariel. Take a second to think. Folks on Zoom as well, please feel free to think on these questions and feel free to put your comments in Zoom. But if anyone here has a thought, we'd love to hear.
Hold it for me.
Sometimes people fantasize, well, when I go, I just want to go in my sleep. That's the worst way to go. You want to see the end coming so you can make amends and make all your loose ends and visit everybody that you need to talk to. You need that time for closure, just like everybody else needs. So.
I love that.
Yeah, along those lines, if you don't know when your end is, then any day could be your end. And that's kind of a terrifying way to live.
To the first point, there was a study of oncology nurses some years ago who agreed that they would rather have cancer than die suddenly in their sleep for exactly that reason. There's no chance to atone, to make amends, to say goodbye, or all of the things that people have time to do if they have a long illness, although, who wants that?
It's powerful to hear that the people most intimately aware and in partnership with the suffering and everything else that comes with cancer would elect that. I'm seeing in the chat Leah writing, my partner and I have both lost parents, hers in an unexpected accidents and me due to terminal illness. We talk about the trade-offs of these two ways of losing someone a lot. Amy Rand wrote, you need time to prepare others that you will be going. Yeah, sure.
Illness can teach us a lot. It shows us how we're vulnerable and reminds us we need each other.
That rhymes with something that a Jamie student, one of our youth, brought when I brought this question on Wednesday, which I thought was brilliant and had never thought about. Maybe Jacob wants the opportunity to be cared for, wants the opportunity for his family not only to put his affairs in order, but also to be in a vulnerable place where people can provide care for him.
I wanted to echo that. I think it can strip us down to what really matters and give us a chance to value maybe things we haven't valued previously. I'm thinking right now about someone I know, not terribly well, but I was at a service for her, kind of a healing service last week, and she's got stage 4 breast cancer. And she said, you know, I spent my whole life thinking I'm fundamentally unlovable and everybody's just putting on a sham for me. But it was through getting cancer that I realized how loved I was, how lovable I was, and I found peace for the first time in my life. And I've been thinking about that a lot since she said that. And I would sincerely hope we don't have to have stage 4 cancer to realize that we're loved or to find those kind of tangible truths in our life. But if that's what it takes to reach that knowledge, then I guess that's one way to reach it.
I want to just pause there for one moment, and Micah, thank you for that. And for each of us just to make the commitment in our life right now to call to mind that person in our life who might not know that we love them and who might need to hear that. And let that story be an impetus, a nudge in the direction of calling that person and letting them know, before they need to.
Yeah, whenever I was thinking about this, a few things came to mind for me. And one of them was definitely related to stuff that's been said and just how much whenever I'm really sick, I value not being sick and how much I just was just would do anything to not be sick, basically. I think another thing is that it lets children get out of school for a little bit. And also, I always have really fun dreams whenever I have a fever, and sometimes they mean a lot.
Let's hear Frankie, and then I just have one more comment.
I'm sure we've all heard the saying, live every day as if it's your last. And I can't, for the most part, really do that because I would, get evicted amongst other things. And so if you then do know, okay, these few weeks are actually your last, you suddenly have the opportunity to just really make them count in a way you might not otherwise.
Track wrote, if we assume that some people were more predisposed to sneezes than others, even before the creation of illness, then illness creates opportunities as well for space between health, whatever that means, and death, and not just early and unexpected death. Moon writes, I've seen so many people suffer terrible, prolonged deaths through illness. It's no blessing. And gosh, I feel like that is such at the core tension of this text. It feels like there's something incredibly beautiful and countercultural about it. And at the same time, my guess is, as most, if not all of us in this room have seen just the savage way that illness can lead to painful death. I want to conclude with one other question, or maybe a challenge that comes out of the Midrash. We don't have time to dig into this question tonight, but I'll leave it as an offering for us to continue learning about as a community. Each week, as we did today, we as a community pray for healing. We do it right before this Devar Torah. We pray for healing of those in our lives who are in need of it. I've benefited tremendously from this practice at the times that I've been ill or at the times where I've needed to pray for people in my family. And at the same time, I find this moment in our service to be just incredibly complicated. Over the years, I've asked, and I've heard family, friends, and congregants ask a huge number of questions about Judaism and healing. Does this actually do anything? Or is it appropriate to pray for my sister who doesn't consider herself as an addict? Or, I'm a lot better, but I'm permanently disabled from an illness. Should I still include myself in a Misha Berach? Or, my mom is in hospice. What prayer should I say? The rabbi and scholar Julia Watts-Belzer argues that our society and our synagogues have flattened a relationship to disease and disability. The only way we can relate to illness is through the lens of healing, with the hope and intention of getting better. In this model, we encounter illness as a problem to be fixed. This perspective can be so powerful enough to fuel biomedical research and advancements that have saved so many people in my own life. And this perspective is limiting. It labels ill and disabled people as problems in need of solutions, when so often this is not the experience and the heart-deep knowledge of those same people. Our midrash this week feels like a passionate rewriting of our societal script. In Jacob's imagination, illness is not a problem to be solved. Illness is a radical experience that can shape our lives and the lives of our loved ones in wild and painful and beautiful ways. This example leaves us with the challenge of following in Jacob's footsteps, of broadening and deepening our personal, relational, and spiritual posture with regards to the human life cycle. What imagination and wisdom might we gain, might we lose, might we need in the midst of living, suffering, and learning? How can we build communal rituals and other ways of being with each other that hold open the diverse narratives, the dignity and the autonomy of ourselves and our beloveds in the midst of illness? So I look forward to continuing to chew on these questions with you over the months and years. Shabbat Shalom. We'll continue with an opportunity to bless each other, to bless in community. You can find the words of the communal blessing on your blue sheet, number 3. Hamalach hagoel oti, Hamalach hagoel oti mikora, Yevarech et hanearim, V'yikra lehem shemi, V'shem avotai, Avraham v'yitzchak, v'yigdu la'rov, v'kerev ha'ahar. Yismechem Elohim k'Sara k'Rivka k'Rachel u'Chelea k'Ephraim v'ch'Menashe. Yivarechecha Adonai v'yishmerecha. Yair Adonai panav elecha v'yichuneka. Yisa Adonai panav elecha v'yasem lecha shalom. Yedadaya, yadadaya, yadadaya, May we love and care for others while they are still here. May we feel and acknowledge the wisdom and dignity of the disabled and chronically ill people around us. May we learn to embrace illness and death as a path towards wholeness. May you take what you need from these blessings, even when our words fail. May we be blessed. May we be blessed with understanding, healing as a sense of wholeness despite disease. May we take care of each other through illness, whether they may be healed or not. May the power of our collective prayers cure people who can be cured. May we be as good to ourselves as we are to those around us. May we practice offering and receiving care over and over again. May we love and care for others while they are still here. May we be as patient with tough feelings we have as we would like to be with illness. May we all learn from disabled community building. May we value public health. May we hold space for the wisdom of those who cannot be cured, even if it tends to be the state of being we strive towards. May we love each other more for remembering we can lose each other. May we always have enough masks. Ken yehi ratzon. Yadadai, yadadai,
First of all, yasher koach to you for a very courageous and challenging.
Your mic is off.
I'm just whispering to Rabbi Joey. I just want to say yasher koach to you for a courageous and challenging and inviting Dvar Torah. And I want to say yasher koach to our Zoom minion who has been blessing our community every week for the last, I did the math finally, I found the Dvar Torah. It's been 3 full years of every week blessings. We've been that practice of blessing started at Parshat Vayechi 5782. And so just this, and we were all on Zoom, my friends, and we are now on Zoom and in the sanctuary, and this feeling of what it feels like to continue to build minyan and build practice together. But I feel like every year at Parshat Vayechi, I was like, was it 20 years ago we did that? What is time after COVID? Or in this phase of COVID, I'm like, what is time? And so I just want to really appreciate the wise blessers and the generous spirits who have continued to pour out so much wisdom and love and have continued to drosh the drosh with incredible, I feel like I learn about our Divrei Torah every single week because of the wisdom that comes pouring back in the chat. So yasher koach. And I know some of our Zoom minion is in person right now, so just yasher koach to you. Osh, osh, osh. Okay, we will begin to conclude our service on page 284. Please rise and root. V'hashivota. V'hashivota.
V'hashivota. Elevavecha. Ki Adonai. Hu Elohim.
V'hashivota.
V'hashivota.
Elevavecha.
Elevavecha.
Ki Shechina. Hi Elohim. V'nemar. V'haya Adonai. Lemelech al kol haaretz. Bayom hahu. Yeh Adonai echad. U'shemo.
Folks can be seated. We'll continue with Mourner's Kaddish in a moment. But before we do, we've had the tradition for the past now 14, 15 months of reprising the melody of Oseh Shalom in our service with the acknowledgement that too many lives have been lost since October 7th, on October 7th and since, for us to say all the names. And that this practice of praying for peace is not enough, and that we can't lose it. Oseh Shalom b'mramav, Hu yaseh Shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'al Hevel. Today we're in the Shaloshim for Audrey Keyes, mother of Carol Keyes, Fair, and Pamela Katz, beloved aunt of Kate Sinicone. And my apologies, I should have said, as I'm reading these names, if you hear the name of someone that you knew and love and wanted to raise your hand and offer just a sentence or two of story, we'd love to hear it. We're in the yahrzeit, the anniversary of the death of Rose Atkin, Rondi's grandma. We'll grab Rondi maybe at the end of the list. Albert Al.
My Bubby Rose was born, like most of my grandparents, in a shtetl at the last decade of the 19th century. She died before I was born, but I have her Yiddish name, Razel, which means rose, and I have her Shabbat candlesticks.
Thank you. Albert Alberman, Hirsch's father. Marv Dividov, Henry Lippman's beloved friend. Rebecca Falb, Roseanne Fish's mother. Judith Fox, Dina Fox's mother. Nora J., Lincoln Schmatz's sole sibling.
I'm very grateful I got to meet Nora and swim with Nora in Lake Nokomis. And the thing that I'm sharing on behalf of me and Lakin is that Nora respected everybody's animal friends the same as everybody else in the household and gave them the same attention as the humans. And I'm very grateful for all the ways that I have continued to get to know Nora and hear about Nora through Lakin.
Ellen Joseph, Miranda Joseph's mother. Arlene Ricky Canson, Lucy Canson's mother. Gladys Kisner, Leslie Caffarelli's mother. Sandy Lawrence, Jane Sumner's grandma. Peter All Lindell, Kim Colburn Lindell's father. Isaac Lipton, Maria Weinstein's grandfather. Harry Luger, Lorraine's grandfather.
My grandfather went to yeshiva and prided himself on his voice and his singing voice. And he sang when he spoke. And so, hello, how are you? At the end of his life, when he couldn't remember anybody's name, and he always called everybody Cookie. But then that came really in handy because everybody was Cookie. Hello, Cookie.
It's a good reminder to develop that practice earlier in life. Herb Oxman, Philip Oxman's brother. Nils Pearson, Jennifer Hennon's grandfather. Richard Peaser, Ben's father. Dorothy Pagoff, Lisa's mother. Frank Reyes, Sophia Wood's grandfather. Joyce Richmond, Freya and Robert's mother. Justin Ringberg, Sarah Kasten's dear friend. Sally Saperstein, Stuart Mednick's grandmother. Nancy Shalensky, Jacobson, Amy Jacobson's stepmother. Mary Smith, Aaron Smith's grandmother. Freda Speck, Jeffrey's grandmother. Bruce, Irene, Zachary, Matthew, and William Steinberg. And Carolyn Levy's cousin. Florence Weiss, Shelley Miner's mother.
My mom, she was born in a pandemic and she died in a pandemic with a lot of tourists and challenges in between. But she had this like positivity gene in her. Like she always stayed positive, and even at the end, when things were, pretty bad, she would always say, "I'm in good shape for the shape I'm in." That was her.
Dorothy Zlotnick, Moon's mother, and Mindy Kurtzer's mother-in-law, and Della and Anna's grandmother. Are there any other names that people would like to bring forward?
Today's also, sorry. Today is also my mother's Yortzeit. She passed in 2001, and a few days before, I met my husband of 22 years, like 2 days before she died. And this weekend is my birthday, and I'm looking forward to bringing my mother's Shabbat candlesticks to Minneapolis in just a couple of months, and sharing Shabbat dinners with my son, his husband, and friends from the East Coast who come stay with us. Dottie Annette Wall Dombroff.
We'll say the words of Mourner's Kaddish on page 294. I invite folks to rise or root. Yitgada v'kadash shemei Rabba ve'alma divrach chirute ve'amlich malchute b'chai echon u'v'yamechon u'v'chaye dechol beit Yisrael b'gala u'v'zman kari v'yimru amen. Yehi shmei Rabba mevarach leolam omei omaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh v'yithadar v'yit'aleh v'yithalal shemei dekucha berechu le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata tushbechata v'nechemata damimram be'alma v'yimru amen. Yehi shlama Rabba min shemaya v'chayim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'yimru oseh shalom b'mramav hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael ve'al kol yoshvei tevel v'yimru amen. Good Shabbos, everyone.
Good Shabbos, Rabbi Joey.
I have the honor, the responsibility, the grave burden of giving announcements today. Thank you for being with us tonight. It's such a joy to be together. At the end of the service, please return the prayer books to the usher table, and please separate out the 2 song sheets and ideally make 2 different piles with them. Thank you to everyone who made this service happen, to Rabbi Ariel, to myself, to MJ, to Julie Jacobs, to Gordon, to our security team, and to our shomrim. Thank you to our, I think that's everyone I was supposed to thank. You can find all of our Shir Tikva programming updates in our weekly e-news and on our website. A few quick programming updates for you. We are going to have our monthly community Saturday morning services, as in Saturday morning, no be mitzvah, tomorrow morning at 10:30, followed by a potluck nosh and Torah learning. It is a really, really sweet service. On this coming Sunday, we'll have our annual youth event, Tzedek Sunday. If you would like to get your hands dirty and do some good work, please feel free to come here. And one other thing a little bit off on the horizon, on January 25th, oh my gosh, we have an inauguration coming. And on the other side of that, on the following Shabbos, we'll gather in the afternoon here with a variety of other local partners to do some learning, some grounding, some finding each other in the moments after the inauguration. A reminder that your community is here to support you, so please, please, please reach out to our rabbis if you encounter a life change so that they can activate the Shir Tikva network of support. We will conclude with Motzi. Beautiful. So good. We'll conclude by blessing some wine and challah and singing our way towards Oneg. You can find the bracha for blessing wine on page 5. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, Barei peri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, Asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu, v'shabbat kodsho be'ahava uvratzon hinhilanu, zikaron lema'aseh v'reishi. Ki hu yom techila lemikra kodesh zecher letzia Mitzrayim Ki vanu vacharta ve'otanu kidashta im kol halim v'shabbat kodshecha be'ahava uvratzon hinchaltanu Brucha at Shechina nekadeshet ha-Shabbat. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam barei peri hamotzi lechem min haaretz. I make this error once a year.
I feel like Rabbi Joey and I are in our like making mistakes in public era. Which
Yeah,
is
yeah,
like,
yeah.
Really, it's a powerful era.
It's a good era.
It's a good era. I think we're in a long legacy of like Hebrew college is basically intent on ordaining rabbis who are not rabbis as symbolic exemplars, and we are just modeling that.
We are modeling how to not be models.
Good Shabbos to you. Before we close in song, I just want to say thank you to MJ Gilbert, who decided to come home from rabbinical school, and not just come home from rabbinical school, but to lead Shabbat not just once but twice during her vacation. And just, I hope, as you have given to community MJ in this way and have filled our cup up so much, that you can also take some of the belief and the gratitude of this community for you and for your Torah and for your leadership in the world. Shir Tikva is lucky to have a number of our community members in rabbinical school right now. Minnesota is giving birth to many rabbis, which is pretty cool. But you, my friend, are an incredibly powerful force, and we are so grateful that you are on the path you're on. And we cannot wait to continue to welcome you back, to hear your Torah and to join our voices with you in song. So just...
I carry you with me every day. Every day.
Seriously, there is a comment immediately that Zoom loses it every time MJ shows up. And that is, I've watched it happen.
I walk in the room and the tears.
That's right.
Oh no.
We'll close on the back of your not so colorful.
No, actually, we're just going to sing a nigun.
Yeah.
Oh, beautiful. We are going to sing a nigun.
So you don't have to look at any song sheets because there's so many of them. It's so confusing. Hi, 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 yo. Hi, 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 yo. Hi, 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 hi.
Shabbat Shalom. Good Shabbos. Go have a nosh. Hope to see you soon. Hope to see you tomorrow morning. Good Shabbos.
You want to?
Yeah. Are you kidding?
Okay, I need the words in front of me.
Jay and I are going to sing the secret song of the service. So if you want to sing with us, it's the words in the white song sheet.
Do you
Don't
have?
have
Hang on a second. We're in the middle of the song, and I'll tell you afterwards. Ani yeshena v'libi olodi dofek ani yeshena v'libi olodi dofek
Ani Yeshe